Hi folks, come out and see us at Backyard Spa and Leisure here at 4105 Southwestern. Come out and see the finest selections of sunrooms, pergolas, hot tubs, outdoor kitchen and living space, everything for the backyard. Give us a call.
Hey, welcome to week 10 of Pigskin. I'm Lance Lahnert, sports editor at the Globe News.
Jon Mark Beilue, columnist for the Globe News. Lance, can you believe it? It's the last regular season games of the 2010 season.
I really can't believe it's gone this fast
right
because
and here we are right now in the early November and getting ready for the playoffs. But first, we got some regular season games to go to, and before that, we want to take a look back at last week and the big Amarillo High Tascosa rivalry and the big game that the Sandies won 17-3 and Lance were both there. What did you think of the whole week and the atmosphere and everything leading up to it?
Well, what an emotional, I talked to a few players, Jon Mark, what a cool thing for them to be able to walk down to that stadium and see the place packed. As corny as it sounds, they said you get chills, and they did get chills, you know. And so to start that out, I think everybody handled that pretty well. It was kind of, you and I kind of called the game, Jon Mark. It was going to be a physical game. We didn't see maybe as many, maybe that big play that turned it, but more of a steady, you saw the game, steady offenses kind of not handling quite the defenses early.
I think that, I know the Tascosa coaches said it was like playing a game from like 20 or 30 years ago when it was more ball control for Amarillo High, more that they had to step up and make plays and get the ball back. And then it puts pressure on your offense, on Tascosa's offense, to do something because they know they're not going to get that many chances because Amarillo High just likes to keep that ball and keep it and go on those long drives, and that's more or less what happened.
It's a keep away offense. Even if Amarillo High didn't score, like you said, 16, 6 minutes off, 16 plays, whatever. I mean, it was just like monotonous, but it works.
With Amarillo High's good defense, or sometimes great defense, and the kicking game and their ball control offense, they're just content to play field position and score when the opportunity presents itself, and that's what they did in winning that game 17-3.
And we had 15,000 fans there. Globe News gave out pom-poms and signs.
It's one of those atmospheres that just does not come along all that often, and I know for those kids, they will remember it for a long time.
Exactly, and what a great game. We appreciate you guys.
Both Amarillo High and Tascosa are in the playoffs. They're going to be in the Division II playoffs. Amarillo High is the #1 seed. Tascosa is #2. They've got both regular season games this coming weekend. But Lance, District 3 4A has really got, with 8 teams, it's going to be a jumbled up mess, and a lot of things could happen. And what's it look like going into this final
Well, we
season?
do know this. For the first time in the history of Amarillo AISD, since we've had multiple schools, obviously, beginning in 1955, we have all our teams in the playoffs.
Right.
Since all four, which is a great job. So that means KARRH's in, Jon Mark, Paladuro's in, and Randall is in. What we don't know yet is Hereford and Canyon. One of those two teams will get that last spot, Jon Mark. Hereford plays Randall on their home turf. Be very tough. While Canyon has a home game against Plainview.
Right.
Now, if Hereford wins, it's a done deal. It's over with, okay?
Right.
However, if they lose, Canyon wins, there's some scenarios where both those teams can get in. So,
and then you have the what we call the Parr Bowl, where we have Seth Parr, head coach at KARRH, going up against his dad, Steve Parr, head coach at Paladuro, for I think the 4th time. And this is the first time where a little bit of the pressure's off because they're both in the playoffs. But last year's game was really entertaining, like 55-42, something like that, with Paladuro winning.
In that game, by the way, we saw 2 300-yard rushers on the same team in Denzel Everhart and Ty Hicks. They're back. Probably never happen again, but they're back this week for this game. So, but you're right. They can relax since they're both in the playoffs. However, let's throw this little nugget out there. The loser gets a team called Denton Ryan in the playoffs.
Okay.
And
state ranked. I think
state ranked #2. A beast of a challenge for you. So there's something at stake here to try to avoid a really, really nasty opening by-district game.
Right. Yeah, that's not a real good consolation prize for losing that game and getting in the playoffs.
But anyway, let's give Randall real quick props here, Jon Mark. 1-9 to district champions, possibly. just a huge turnaround. You know, they do that +8 or whatever in wins. That's an incredible turnaround.
Well, to go from 1-9 to possibly, I guess, 9-1 is an incredible performance by Brian Wood and his staff and all the Raiders over there at Randall.
And real quick, they're 1 point away from being undefeated, and we've talked about that all year. Yeah.
Well, that's 3-4A, and
we applaud you, 3-4A. Thanks for the season.
And Plainview, they knocked off KARRH. They'll try to, for their first win of the year, and they'll try to see if they can't get Canyon this week. But anyway, looking at the 1A race, which is not much of a race anymore, is the Canadian Wildcats. Lance Canadian is 10-0. And really, this is kind of surprising, but during their runs to either state titles or to state championship games since '07, this is their first 10-0 season.
That surprised me. That's a great stat, Jon Mark. This is Chris Kedding's first year as the head coach. Let's just point out, Jon Mark, they have a chance now, if they can get on this playoff run, to be in a state championship game for 4 consecutive years.
Wow. Never happened. Never happened up here.
Never happened up here, and that's just an unheard of.
Is the district champion. They have a bye in that first round, so they're going to go like 2 weeks without a game, so it's almost like a little mini two-a-days type of atmosphere for them for a couple of weeks.
That's a great point. What do? You know what I mean? Because you
stay sharp. You can't do like in basketball and go scrimmage somebody.
Right. Yeah. That's a great point. So we'll see how they do. Congratulations, Canadian, just a tremendous year. Ranked #1 in the state. Yeah, we didn't mention that. But hey, also, Jon Mark, as we've done all year, let's give props to one of the players who stood out this week.
Okay, well, we got the Backyard Spa and Leisure Player of the Week, and it's a little bit of an unusual position in that it usually goes to backs or receivers or guys that handle the ball. Stat guys, number guys, but it's going to somebody else a little bit different this week. Lance, tell us about it.
Yeah, we want to applaud Taylor KARRH, tight end for Amarillo High. They run the wing tee, Jon Mark, and the blocking is just critical of there. And the Amarillo High line, along with Taylor, who graded out, I think, is their highest grade, according to Coach Mel Maxfield, was a dominant blocker in this game. We talked about it earlier, the rushing attack, 261 yards. That's what they're all about, and they got it done again. So congratulations, Taylor.
Lightning round.
Well, welcome to the lightning round, where Lance and I pick 8 high school football games as fast as possible. Rough week for me last week, 5-3. Lance was 7-1. Maybe I can rebound here on this last week of the regular season. We'll see.
5-3 is not that bad, so don't be so hard on yourself. Here we go.
I can do better though.
Headley at Groom. I'm going to go with the Groom Tigers. Jon Mark's old stomping grounds. I'm not going to pick against Groom.
Well, I got to go with my alma mater too, and plus the fact I saw where they're a 45-point favorite by the sixmanfootball.com.
Nice, I like that.
There you go.
I knew they had the better record.
That's right. Ooh, boy, River Road came off a really tough one to Muleshoe, Friona. I think I'm going to go with the Chieftains in this one.
No playoff game on the line, unfortunately, River Road, but there's still a nice season. I think they're going to finish off their last year. Perez, this is his last game as a senior. River Road. Spearman Tulia. Woo, this is for a playoff berth. Winner goes to the playoffs, loser goes home. I can't pick against Tulia. I just can't. It would be an upset, but I'm going with the Hornets. What a season.
Well, you know, last year the Hornets didn't even get to finish the season because of academics and all that. But I'm going to go with it. They're going to end up with a Cinderella season, and I'm going with Tulia. I got to go with the Elks on this one. They just got a little bit too much for WT High.
WT High has had a great season, but it's Stratford in. They're both in. Woo! Oh, man. Oh, Dumas will finish off the season with a win over the Tigers, no doubt.
Yeah, nothing but pride on the line here. And the Demons have had a pretty good season, and I think they ended up on a good note. Wow. Now, this is going to be a good one, but I'm going to give just a slight edge to Randall playing at home, and it just seems like it's their year.
Raiders!
It is their year, but they don't have to win this game. Nothing's going to happen. They're already in the playoffs. The Herd has to win to guarantee it. They're at home. The cow's going to be snorting. Big old cow out there in the end zone. It's the Herd. Oh, you got to go with the Eagles. Plainview. Plainview had their moment in the sun last week, Jon Mark, knocking off the Rock. But Canyon needs this win for a chance.
Well,
Eagles.
That's exactly. Plainview hadn't won a game until last week when they upset KARRH, but I think Canyon needs this one a lot worse than Plainview does. I'm going with the Eagles. Idiot KARRH. Wow. PD got them last year in a high-scoring game. I think it'll be a lot of points this year. This time I think KARRH comes out on top.
Hey, par versus par, daddy versus son. I'm going with son. It's evened up the 4th time, so it'll be 2-2. KARRH, the Rock.
The lightning round is over.
Hey, but even though we're coming to a close, but don't forget, we'll be back next week, and we still have a good Friday night coming up. We've got scores online for you. Go to Amarillo.com, and we have other things, Jon Mark.
Yeah, well, you can get it on your mobile device at m.pigskinreview.com.
Good memory.
And, you know, there's no way that you cannot keep current with what's going on Friday night.
That's right.
Through the network of the Amarillo Globe News.
Very proud of that, and go on to the site all week. Pigskin Review. It's just a lot of fun. Want your comments and all that. So,
check it out.
Hey, we'll be back for playoffs.
For the special playoff edition next week, all right?
All right.